What if the flow of life is already within you, waiting to be activated? Interesting question, right? We're here today because we actually want to talk about something a little bit different. And in our work, we like to work with the infinity symbol, which is one of the sacred geometric figures that you'll find in the energy therapy world. And the infinity symbol is one of our favorites because it can be used in various different contexts. It is a symbol of pretty high significance to us, and it's something that we've been drawn to for, I think, a very long time. So you have Gabby here and myself, Sarah, and then Nami hopefully will be joining us here in a few minutes. So the question that we first wanted to address really in regards to the infinity sign is really what makes the infinity sign, the infinitive symbol, so powerful and so well known across, spiritual traditions.
Yeah, what I would say is, the infinity symbol represents the concept of limitlessness and eternity. And it signifies repeated circles of life, the death and rebirth that are prevalent in many spiritual traditions. And then in mathematics and science, this symbol stands for something without end, reflecting its really universal meaning of boundlessness and the infinite potential that resides within the universe and within each of us. And the infinity symbol can also represent the balance between opposing forces, like the duality, like light and dark, masculine and feminine, and so on and so on, night and day. And it encourages a harmonious integration of these aspects within ourselves. And also historically, the origin of the infinity symbol can be traced back really thousands of years to Asian culture that honored cyclic patterns and repeating sequences seen in nature, such as the changing season. And if we go to the Celtics, the Celtic knot, known also as endless knots, served a similar purpose, symbolizing the eternal nature of life and interconnectedness of all living things. And across all these diverse culture landscapes, the infinity symbol serves really as a reminder of our connection to a larger ongoing journey that transcends time and space, encouraging us to think beyond the immediate and material. And with all this said, it leads to the next question, how has working with it changed how we navigate life's ups and downs, and how do we integrate it into our life?
It's a good question. I mean, I think the way that you can think of the infinity sign is, how the coin has two sides. But with the infinity sign, essentially you have both sides too, but there's this crossover point. There is this point where you can actually cross from one side of the coin to the other side, per se, right? From one loop to the other loop. And whereas a coin, you can't really jump from one side to the other, and an infinity sign, you can, right? And so if you have an infinity sign and you're working with an infinity sign, it can be really a transformative tool that can help you kind of navigate harder times, because it just really reminds you to maintain your balance, to maintain your resilience, and to kind of maintain your perspective. And just knowing that you might be in a loop of hardship, but as you move along that loop, you will eventually cross back over that crossover point and move into, light-filled times and easy times. per se, right? And it's always a cyclical nature, like our life, it's never just a straight line. It's an up and it's a down, it's an up and it's a down. And when you understand that, you can then use the infinity sign to help you with those challenges to kind of flow and move with the situations, right? It kind of reminds us to keep an inner strength going, and most importantly, to just kind of stay in the flow of energy, and that continuous flow, instead of just kind of, getting stuck. And something that I like to do with myself, or when we're working with other people, is to just visualize the infinity sign. We integrate it in a lot of our integration sessions or meditations and work, where when you visualize it, it already helps you get the stuck energy in your system or in your situation flowing again, right? And then seeing that continuous loop of energy can help you with intention to, for example, absorb negativity and transform it into positivity, and help you move through that, right? And not only that, the infinity sign in and of itself helps us to also just remember that we are, infinite beings in a way. We're contained in a body, but energetically speaking, we're infinite. And remembering that alone can kind of be an encouragement to just move on and know that this might just be a short moment of our lives, but it will change, it will improve, it will get better as long as you stay in that flow, right? And because we are talking about the infinity sign, and I briefly mentioned that crossover point, the next question or discussion point really is then, what's that significance of that crossover point? And on an energetic basis, when you're energetically speakingly looking at the crossover point of the infinity sign, why is it so important? What's the significance about that?
Yeah, I would say for me, it's that this point symbolizes integration. It is where, yin meets yang, and where the masculine balances with the feminine, and where light converges into shadow. And this synergy is crucial for personal growth and harmony, because we are living here on Earth in duality, where we have the light and the shadow side. And so we have to balance both sides. And this crossover point also teaches us that opposing energies are not separated, but really interconnected, encouraging us to embrace all aspects of our experience. And, consider moments of personal transition, such as, for example, starting a new job, or moving to a new city, or a child is born in a family, and so on. And these are natural crossover points in life that may initially really feel overwhelming. And by visualizing the energetic flow of the infinity symbol, you really can find balance amidst changes and in the chaos, fostering really acceptance and adaptability. And often meditation practitioners also use this crossover point as a focus to deepen really their practice. And the crossover point can be also reflected in moments of conflict resolution. So if you're in a conflict situation, then just visualizing, having, for example, the fight on one side and then peace on the other side, that this energy moves over the crossover point into peace, and balances it. And it really serves as a reminder of the potential for transformation. And by consciously really aligning with this powerful point, we can navigate life's changes with grace, and embracing the dynamic dance of opposites. And then also what sometimes can happen, as we have these two loops, we can get sometimes stuck in a loop. And the question is, why do we get stuck in a loop, and how can we use flow really to shift this?
Yeah. So, for me, just talking about the crossover point briefly too, it's kind of, I also look at it as a bridge. You're crossing from one loop to the other one. And if you get stuck in a loop, for example, then maybe that bridge is broken down, that bridge is blocked off, and you can't cross over. And oftentimes, or actually most of the times, what we've kind of seen is that when you draw a resemblance to someone's problems or challenges, and with the infinity sign, then the loops that you might be stuck in, most of the time it is because it is related to an underlying fear of the unknown or then a resistance to change. We are human creatures who do not like change. I mean, that's just how it is. We don't like change. We like to know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and change is uncomfortable, right? And so the fear of the unknown and that a resistance to change can then hold us back from really just exploring new possibilities that kind of are beyond what our comfort zone is. And that infinity sign reminds us that it is about the fluidity and the continuous motion of life, right? And we have to engage the flow of life itself to then continue flowing through our life through that infinity sign, where we can kind of recognize and disrupt certain cycles, right? And with also being stuck in a loop, what can happen too is that you just kind of psychologically get stuck, right? You have some kind of unresolved emotions. You kind of just are stuck in that loop of consistent negative thinking. And you might even realize that you're stuck in that loop, but you don't really know how to get out of it either, right? Or it's just subconscious behaviors that are so ingrained in our system that we don't even realize it, that keep us kind of stuck in that loop, right? And it's just kind of patterns that repeat themselves, or thoughts that repeat themselves, and you're just going in a circle and a circle. Or an easy way to look at it too is you wake up in the morning and you live the exact same day over and over and over, right? You're stuck in the loop. You're not changing, you're not trying to change. You're good, you're comfortable, or as comfortable as you can be in the situation that you're in, and that's the cycle you want to be in, right? Now, how you can try and get yourself back into the flow is by, first of all, realizing that you're stuck in a loop, right? And having the willingness to change, even though you might be scared or afraid of doing the changes or having the changes appear. But then again, what can really help is visualizing that symbol, right? And visualize if you feel like you're stuck in a loop, visualize yourself actually standing at that crossover point, and then picture the infinity sign just like a stream around you flowing, right? And it's representing that seamless flow of energy. And you're right at a crossover point. You can choose to go back to your old loop. You can choose to go to the new loop. You can choose to actually join, which we encourage to join the infinity sign, and then to join that flow that just takes you all around and lets you go up and down, where you can then, easily move through whatever life throws at you without it getting you stuck in a loop again, right?
Mm.
And that kind of just takes us to the next question. What does it mean to live in alignment with that infinite energy if we actually manage to get into the energy and the flow of the infinity sign? What does it even mean to live like that then, in that alignment?
So for me, it means, balancing physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions in a way that it helps continuously growth and transformation while rooted in the essence of the present moment, rooted into Mother Earth. And when aligned with the infinity energy, we really can grow and become more attuned really to our true self and sense of purpose. And also the alignment really fosters resilience and adaptability, empowering us really to navigate the complexities of life with grace and with ease. And there are different things you can do to stay in this alignment. It's use visualization of the infinity symbol to center your mind and draw strength from it flow. You can do gratitude practice, because gratitude keeps us aligned with the energy of abundance and continuous renewal. And connecting with nature, to attune the earth infinity cycles, the different seasons, witnessing the natural world's rhythm, and understanding life's continuity and our role within. And then setting positive intentions and revisit these intentions regularly to stay aligned with your higher self. And then also embrace lifelong learning. We are in school of life, and it starts with our first day on earth and ends with our last day on earth. Don't think, okay, now I'm 60, I'm done with learning. No, we are learning from our first to our last day. And seek out these new experiences that challenge, excite, and inspires your journey, and that helps you to stay in this alignment.
Absolutely. And that's, talking about the infinity sign really in general, and the beauty of it is why we call the retreat the infinity retreat, right? Because right now, the world that we live in and all the changes that are happening, the status of things, and also what we're kind of collectively seeing between Gabby, myself, and Nami when it comes to just energy and the states that people are in when working with them, is that so many of us, and that includes us, we're stuck in a loop, or we are, for example, living so much more in one energy versus another energy, where we are living more in the feminine versus the masculine, or we're really just still in that third dimension, but would like to jump into the fifth dimension, even though that's something that we know we still can't seem to make that transition. And those are kind of the topics that we are going to be covering in the retreat. And if you've been feeling stuck, if you've been feeling like you've just kind of had your blinders on living your life, or if you've been kind of feeling just bogged down, or you're not sure how to move on, and come and join the retreat, because we will have, generally speaking, a massive alignment of lots of different parts of yourself and of your energy system that we are going to address and going to take care of. And we are super excited about it. It's something that we've been dreaming up for a while, and we will post a link below the video and hope that you guys can join us. Thank you.
Thank you.